Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts and preparing for earnings, like the earnings coming up this week for the week of, let's see, January 22nd. And so from this tweet coming from Earnings Whispers, we can see what the earnings are. And so I have covered a few of the stocks on this list, which you can see, listed here, including Tesla, American Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Next Era Energy, and Next Era Partners, as well as more recently Visa and American Express. So I just thought it'd be fun to go over these tickers and see where I think earnings will be taking them this week. And so to start, I'm just going to go with Tesla because they have the first earnings after hours on Wednesday, which would be January 24th, I believe. So now I'm going to switch over to the chart. And so this is, what I see with Tesla. Basically, I see that price is right around this kind of key level of 208. The red line here had served as support in the past, then more recently as resistance here. Support again that was broken below. And it does look like there are these two very interesting trend lines. One being this yellow one going back to the low of, January 6th of 2023. And the other pivot point being right around the end of April. Also coinciding with this orange trend line's first pivot point, and then also the low of around the end of October. And so what I could see as far as earnings goes is that, if price is above 208 before Wednesday after hours, I could see a pretty notable bounce and or, just maintaining being above this orange trend line. And bigger picture, what I see beyond earnings is the possibility of an inverse head and shoulders, with the left shoulder being over here, neckline being this white line with the head here. And we are perhaps at the top or bottom, I guess you could say, of this inverse right shoulder. So I do think that will be coming up to test the neckline at some point. I do think it will get into a little bit of resistance around $230, where there's this little bit of a volume shelf. But, I do think that Tesla will be going up following earnings, which we can see here on January 24th in the after hours. Now, switching back to this list, Thursday morning starts out with American Airlines, as well as Alaska Airlines and the Next Energy and Next Energy Era Partners. So I'll go over those next. So looking at American Airlines, I have been, somewhat bearish on American Airlines just because these gaps were left to the downside. However, there is a gap to the upside now. So, I think it's kind of a toss-up. I would say if I was just looking at American Airlines, I would expect it to go down following earnings on the 25th. However, if I look over at Alaska Airlines, which has pulled back a lot, I could see there being a bounce because it has arrived at what seems to be like this uptrending white level of support. And I do think it could be bouncing, perhaps going back up to $37 or $38, something around there where this red line is. However, long term, though, I could see this white uptrend as being a neckline, this being a left shoulder, head here, and then getting a bounce to then form the right shoulder, which would then later on, not right after earnings, but perhaps over the next, by the middle of the year, this would see us down about $8.50. So if I bring that over to the neckline here, that could be bringing price down to around $26.50. So I would say that's kind of a longer term possibility. But as far as earnings go, I would say that Alaska Airlines, ticker symbol ALK, is more likely to bounce. And with that, I would think American Airlines would do something similar and go up. And I should note that is ticker symbol AAL, while Tesla is TSLA. However, I'm sure everybody's aware of that. And then so the other morning earnings on, let's see, the 25th, I see NextEra Energy here. I had previously drawn these lines. This came up during a stream. And, I was surprised at how it was hugging this uptrend. And I had mentioned, having some concern about this breaking down around the time that I had gone over it, though I think it did bounce. But, I've been impressed seeing these trend lines being respected because I haven't really been paying attention to this stock. But we do see this breakdown here. But where do I see it regarding earnings? I would actually have to look and so this is ticker symbol NEE. I would have to look to NEP to see that, it has come down, but it does look like it's arrived at support. And so I do think that NEP, if above this trend line, which is based on, let's see, the low of November 29th and the low of October 6th. If price is above that trend line before earnings, I think we'll see a bounce. If it's below, I think we'll see a breakdown to test this downtrending level. And likewise, since they are similar, I do think that NEE will follow whatever NEP does, which, looking at the chart, I'm guessing that it will bounce. But, with the RSI still being above 30, I could actually see this breaking down to this downtrend. So that's what I'm going to say for NEP and NEE. I think they're both going down following earnings, but we'll have to see. And then next on the list here is Visa in the after hours. And so Visa, I had just recently drawn this Fibonacci retracement. I should note Visa is ticker symbol V. I had just drawn this retracement, and we actually did get a higher high following that retracement. Still, though, regardless, I feel like this is going to be pulling back largely because of what recently happened with Discover following earnings. People have been spending a lot following the holidays, whatnot, but people are starting to cut back on that spending and are now, possibly getting delinquent credit card fees, payments. And so I think that there will be a pullback for Visa. I think the retracement could be to the 236, which would be around a price of $259, but I think it could even go lower as Discover, ticker symbol DFS, did go much lower than the 236. And now looking at American Express, which is Friday morning, and so that is, let's see, ticker symbol AXP has already pulled back to the 236, but just like with DFS, Discover, that I believe retraced to the 50% level. If not, it might have just retraced to the 382. For American Express, that would be at a price of $171 approximately. So I could see American Express tanking following earnings, just like Visa. I also feel the same as far as NEP, NextEra Energy Partners, as well as NextEra Energy. I think all four of these tickers will be going down following earnings. The ones I think will be going up are going to be Tesla, and largely because of Alaska Air, I do think they, as well as American Airlines, will be going up following earnings. But we'll have to see. If you do enjoy this kind of content, I'll do another one next week, and you'll have to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And make sure you like the video for more content like this and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot, and happy trading earnings week.